Hello little friends, how are you? Welcome to your third lesson of algebra. Today you are going to learn changing the subject. Okay, so let's learn together. You have been very familiar about these type of equations, means 5 equals to 2 plus 3, or I can also write like 5 is equals to 1 plus 4, or I can write 5 is equals to 6 minus 1. In any way you can break your number, but the answer should be equal to 5 because 6 minus 1 gives you 5, that's why this is correct. 1 plus 4 gives you 5, that's why it is correct. And 2 plus 3 again gives you 5, that's why this is correct. So this sign in between is called equal sign, and when you have equal sign and there are two sides, one is right hand side and other is left hand side, so this is called your equation, or you can also call a formula. So there are two sides, right side and left side. Equal sign makes them equal. Now let's learn that what is the subject of an equation. For example, we just have written 5 equals to 4 plus 1. Can you tell me what is the subject of this formula or this equation? The subject of this equation is 5. Why? Because just think about this, that 5 is all alone here. A number or a letter A, B, X, Y, Z, or any number which is all alone on one side will be the subject of the equation. For example, if I am writing A equals to B plus 2, so can you tell me what is the subject in this equation? What is the subject? Subject about which you are talking. We are talking about A over here. We are saying A is equals to B plus 2, right? You don't say that B plus 2 is equals to A. For example, if 5 equals to 4 plus 1, what we usually say? We usually say that 5 is equals to 4 plus 1. You are talking about 5 over here. You are talking about A over here. So that's why A is the subject of your equation. 5 is the subject of your equation. So when we need to make any letter, alphabet over here a subject, so it means what we need to do, we need to separate it from other letters and numbers in the equation. Okay, so let's do with an example. For example, I have A equals to B plus 2 over here. So what you need to do, you need to change your subject. Right now your subject is A, but I want B to be my subject. B to be my subject. Now what should I do? What should I do? Just think about it, that I need to make B all alone like A is right now. So what can we do over here? Just look carefully. Here is A equals to B plus 2. What thing is extra with B over here on your right side? We have plus 2 extra with B. Okay, plus 2 is extra with B. It means that you need to eliminate, or you need to remove, you need to finish this plus 2 from your B. How can you do this? B plus 2, if I want to remove this 2, what should I do? The opposite of plus 2, what do you think what can be? What thing can cancel plus 2? Minus 2, right? The opposite of plus 2 is minus 2. Okay, so it means if I write plus 2 minus 2, it's gonna give me 0. Okay, am I correct? For example, if you have plus 2 minus 2, what do we mean by that? It means 2 minus 2. It will give me 0. So 0 means nothing. Okay, so if I write the opposite of plus 3, it will be minus 3, so it will give me 0. In the same way, if I want to finish this A, what should I do? What should I do? I can write minus A and it will give me 0. Okay, so every plus number, for example plus 1, the opposite of plus 1 will be minus 1. The opposite of plus A will be minus A, and the opposite of plus Y will be minus Y. In the same way, the opposite of minus Y will be plus Y. Okay, do you understand this thing? Now we can solve our question over here. So we have A equals to B plus 2. In question number 1, we need to eliminate this 2. We need to cancel this plus 2. Remember, you always need to say with plus sign. So I can do like this. I can add minus 2 over here. So now look at here, I can cancel this plus 2 with minus 2. But one thing is here I have not done. I need to do, what's that? Do you remember that whenever we do anything by our own self in math, we need to do on both sides. If I have given minus 2 in the right side, I have to do the same thing on the left side. That means minus 2 if I added on right side, minus 2 I need to add on left side. The same thing you have been doing in your fractions. You know that whenever you need to change your denominator, for example, if I need to change it into 9, what I need to do, I need to multiply it by 3. But the same thing I need to do in the top. Okay, so the same thing is being applied over here because I have added minus 2 in the right side. The same thing I need to do on the left side. Okay, now what I am left with? I am left with a minus 2 equals to b. Okay, so a minus 2 equals to b, I can write as b equals to a minus 2. Same thing, a minus 2 equals to b or b equals to a minus 2, same thing. I just have changed their sides. So now if you look at over here, b is your subject. Okay, so in this way we can change the subject of any formula or equation. Okay, for example, if we have x equals to y minus 1, now I need to change my subject equals to y. So now I need to make this y all alone. So to make it alone, what we need to do, all the things associated with y, you need to remove them. So here what is extra with y? This minus 1. Okay, so now what is the opposite of minus 1? Plus 1. So you simply add plus 1 in both sides. Remember, in both sides, not in only one side. So x plus 1 now is on the left side, but what's left in the right side? Plus 1 and minus 1 will be cancelled and we will be left with y only. Okay, now I can change their position because we usually write like this, y equals to x plus 1. So now y is my subject. Okay, so now let's do some more examples. Question number 3, w is equals to x plus y. Okay, now let's change your subject equals to x. So what I need to do again, I need to remove all extra thing with x. So what is extra with x? Plus y. So what will be the opposite of plus y? Minus y. The same thing I need to do over here. For example, I can write like this. Why I wrote like this? Just to let you understand that this is same as w minus y or plus w minus y. Okay, so minus y plus w is same as w minus y. So what we are left with, x and plus y minus y will be cancelled with each other. So now I can change their positions. I can write like this, x equals to w minus y. Now look at x is your subject. Okay, now let's learn a bit different type of equation. For example, you have a equals to 2b minus 2. Now you need to make your subject equals to b. So the same way what we have to do, we need to remove all the extra things one by one. Remember, one by one. First, what we should remove with b? This minus 2. Okay, first you will go into plus and minus numbers. Plus and minus numbers. Okay, not 2. Remember this thing. First you are going to remove plus and minus numbers. So here minus 2 is going to be cancelled with plus 2 because plus 2 is the opposite of minus 2. The same thing I am doing on left side. So what I am left with, a plus 2 over here, and here I am left with 2b only. Why? Because minus 2 will be cancelled with plus 2. Okay, so now here is again a problem, and what's that? We have 2 with b. You know, I have taught you in the last lesson 2b means 2 times b, right? It is 2 times b. So now what we need to do, we need to cancel this 2 which is being multiplied with b. So now remember, the opposite of multiplication is division, right? The opposite of multiplication is division. So what will be the opposite of 2? Divided by 2, right? It means I need to divide both sides by 2, like this, like this. So you have to keep it in your mind that whenever a number is written with a letter like 2a, that means 2 times a. So the opposite of 2 times is dividing by 2. Okay, so now we are left with a plus 2 divided by 2 equals to 2 times b divided by 2. Now look at here, can I cancel this 2 with 2? Yes, because 2 times 1 is 2 and 2 times 1 is 2. Now what I'm left with over here, a plus 2 divided by 2 equals to 1 times b means b. So now let's change their sides. B equals to a plus 2 over 2. Now b has been changed into your subject. Okay, so now let's do this type of question again, that is x equals to k over y. So now what you need to do, you need to make your subject k. Okay, you need to change your subject into k. That means you need to make k all alone on one side. So we have to look over here, y is divided by k. Okay, y is divided by k, it means y is in the bottom. So what will be the opposite of y? The opposite of division is multiplication. It means you need to multiply your formula with y. Okay, so y is in the bottom, it means the opposite operation is going to be in the top, because the opposite of bottom is top and the opposite of the top is bottom. So the numerator will be multiplied with y. So we have here x times y will give me xy, and here what I'm left with, this y times 1 is y and y times 1 is y. Y will be cancelled with y and we will be left with k alone. So look at here, now k has been changed into your subject. I can write it like this, k equals to xy. Okay, let's do one word problem and you need to find the perimeter. Then we need to answer in terms of x. So now in terms of x is same as subject. So what they are saying, that you need to make x your subject. Okay, let's solve it. Perimeter is equals to 3x plus 1, and then the other side is 3x plus 1, and then we have x, then again x. Okay, so now you need to collect the like terms, so we need to add all the x terms. So we have already done it, so we can directly add them. 3 plus 3 is 6, and this is 7, and this is 8. So we have 8x in total. So here we have 1 and 2 will give us 1 plus 1 equals to 2. So now look at which equation we are left with. We are left with p equals to 8x plus 2. P equals to 8x plus 2. Now what they are asked you, they have asked you that you need to answer in terms of x. Now we have answer in terms of p. You need to make x your subject. So what you need to do, again you need to make it all alone. Yes, so what we need to do, we need to remove all the things one by one. First you need to do plus and minus things. Okay, then we will go into multiplication. As we have plus 2 over here, so the opposite of plus 2 is minus 2, but the same thing you need to do in the left side. All right, so what we are left with, p minus 2 equals to 8x. Why? Because this 2 will be cancelled with this 2. So now 8x is equals to, I can write like this, 8x equals to p minus 2. Now this 8 is being multiplied with x. It is in the top. So what will be the opposite? 8 in the bottom. 8 in the bottom means we need to divide both sides by 8. Okay, now this 8 is going to be cancelled with this 8 and it's gonna give you 1. Remember, when you divide the numbers 8 by 8, it's gonna give you 1. When you take away, it gives you 0. Okay, so now we have 1 times x, that means x is equals to p minus 2 over 8. So now your answer is x is equals to p minus 2 over 8. So your answer is in terms of x, or you can say that x is the subject of your formula. Okay, so now we are going to learn more in the next lesson. So see you in the next class.